Thokozani. Grand greetings, abundant blessings to us all. I go by 𝙑𝙑𝙾𝙾. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to everybody who is continuously supporting us here at Lex Stays Liquid. Housekeeping first and foremost, Thokoza all the way from South Africa. Thanks to those of you who've grown us to 100 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We are grateful. Thank you so much. Thank you to those of you who continue to support us. Just a young like, okay? Thokoza, thank you so much for joining us from Hawaii. We are grateful always for the support once again, as we are saying. Okay, and we starting to make this a regular, all right? We're starting to make this a lot more aloha, as they say in Hawaii, right? We're trying to make this a lot more in accordance with nature, a lot more natural, because once again, we were all born into this third dimension. We were all born into this programming, okay? We were all born into things, not just in our environments, but in our immediate family, okay? In our immediate relationship with ourself, which we are never taught, okay? We're not taught how to emotionally self-regulate. We're not taught about our nervous system. We're not taught about all of these systems which actually we utilize in everyday life, okay? So we got to give ourselves grace. We got to say thank you to ourselves first and foremost, because without you, you cannot create a desired reality. Simple, all right? Thank you so much. Once again, let me know where you're joining from. And once again, thank you so much to those of you who have taken your journey, all right? Not just October, which we had, which was beautiful and powerful. Thank you to the messages of encouragement for me to continue. And so now this is the segue, all right? We did go live on the 1st, which was 01/11, Friday, just to close off October. And also, just before we kick off, is we were just covering pretty much how powerful we become once we take our power back, okay? Once you start to see what programming in your life is available, which doesn't allow you to be your true self here and not operate from here, okay? Then we eventually decided to tap into the first episode of Knowvember, okay? Knowvember, moving away from the age of belief, okay? Push-pull, duality, good, bad, right, wrong, okay? This is great paradoxes, okay? So there's always a fight. If everything you create is from what you think only, you're gonna fight yourself in here before outside. Outside is the effect. You are the cause. But then when you begin to operate from your heart space, and obviously there's steps to fully embody, not to pretend or to talk about it, right? When you operate from your heart space, much love. I see my brother Sean all the way from Florida in the US. Thokoza, my brother, thank you for your journey. I see you, I see you, I see you. Continue. So we also then got onto shadow work. So this is what brings us into episode 2. All right, episode 2 this month. This is the 4th of November, Gregorian calendar. If you know, you know. This is just, it's fake, right? It also allows you to, it's a program, right? It's what keeps you in time. Okay, so this is what we illuminating. All of these programs which we've been operating in since birth, since we got here, all of us. Okay, so me included. But it's up to you as an adult, which is what emotional intelligence is to then what? Go forth and deprogram, unprogram, unplug. Boom, see what works. I like that. It's a buffet now. But it's healthy because it's your choice. It's not forced upon you. Hey, eat this. Hey, take that. Take that. Take that. No diddy. But what I'm saying is now we're moving into a higher dimension. So what does that look like? right? So this topic today is beautiful. All right. What is spiritual bypassing? But obviously it's the topic here. It doesn't show me what the topic is, but let me just off my notes here. Just got a few notes. It's masks off Knowvember, and it's bypassing, right? I can only fit that in, but it's basically spiritual bypassing. So as we do here with Baba Lex, is we define and we get a foundation first, so that we know what we're talking about, right? So that we're not comparing apples with pineapples, with watermelons, with bananas there. Let's have apples with apple. Then we're all on the same wavelength. Frequenzations, right? We don't have conversations. I don't know who's getting conned. Shout out to Anela Kaulani in Hawaii. You know what I'm talking about? You know, we have frequenzations. You reach certain frequencies where sometimes, most of the time, you don't even have to say much words. It's just a, oh wow, yes. I was thinking, you just, oh. Okay, so that is a continuous thing. All right. Also, you merge in terms of not just ideas, but in terms of creation. Co-creation. So a lot of you who are doing work with yourself and your cells, you're starting to tap into what's called the Akash. Okay, but that's simply sun information. Okay, so the more clear of a vessel you are, right? Once again, please support my upcoming book, The Law of Attunement. I break this all down. I simplify it, right? So like Bruce Lee said, my inspiration, he said, be water, my friend. All right? You put water in the cup, it becomes the cup. Right, what is the water? The law of attunement says, Lex stays liquid. Baba Lex says, and now knows, because of practice, right? Walking the talk. Gnosis is, what is the water? It's your spirit. Spirar. Okay, spiral. Respire. Breathe. Through conscious breath, you invite your spirit. Also, it's an element mix of air and water, I would say. Breath, right? Which is your soul, which is in your heart space. Okay? You see what I'm saying? So you become more of your higher self in this vessel, in this cup. Wow, because you first take out the programming, which is not you. Simple. As we move forth, because we require simple, which is natural nature, which is in accordance with the African spirituality. African spirituality is based off nature and seasons. You don't always harvest. That's off key. You don't always plant. That's off key. You're not always healing. That's off key. You've got to always shift into where you are now. With the seasons. Autumn, slowing down. The hydrogen also from the sun is lessening. Bit further away. Less day, more night. Okay, your system shift. You now begin to want more warmth or require more warmth. Okay, even your psyche, your layers of you require certain new things, because you by default switch on new systems according to the season. Okay, so once you become attuned to your seasons naturally, because you're not programmed, okay, you don't require sweets for energy, coffee to get there. You see that's a stimulant. You don't require alcohol to express your emotions. You see what I'm saying? You don't require drugs to run away from yourself. Whoa, you see, there's a lot where everything comes from, and everything's for a purpose. All right, no matter what it is positive and negative. Duality. This is the age of belief, because you don't know. So once you have the lesson, Oh, that is poison to my body. It makes me feel 1, 2, 3. When I'm like this, these come across. In my reality, this happens. You start to dissect that easy when you remove it. Okay? And then you see, wow, okay. People, places, and things. This is not just fasting of food. What we do here. All right? This is why it's a method. Because this method will also trigger emotions in you. Because emotions are linked to what? Your waters. Ba-ding. All right? So once you cleanse your waters within, the rest now, you become the vessel. You see? Your spirit now, higher self, can sit clean inside you. And therefore your intuition rises, okay? Your skin changes. You start to unlock certain parts of your DNA. They call it junk. Zip that up and zip it out. It's not junk, all right? They just don't want you to know. Of course, because once you know that you yourself are a walking apothecary, you're a walking chemistry, okay? You're a walking magician. When you know what you are, when you know that this is not just a body, it's not just a vessel. This is more than just a vessel. This is what you call a divine vehicle, okay? For you to interact on a third dimensional basis. Simple, all right? So make sure you are aware when you are fasting, especially, even if it's not with me, all right? Be aware that you will be cleansing a lot more than just the physical. You'll be cleansing a lot of traumas, things which related to that, okay? So guys, thank you. What takes place is you begin to release where you, okay, the traumas are related to the emotion that you felt when that took place. And then the more it took place, the more you reinforced it. Okay? Example. When you were between the ages of 0 and 7, you used to like to sing. Blah, 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 blah. Shh, told you, shut up. Shut that mouth, quickly. Okay? Boom. But every time you opened your mouth, they told you, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. So the more that came in with that trauma, you went to maybe eat a sweet. Maybe just for argument's sake, a lollipop. Boom. This is just the basic so that you can get the foundation of how a trauma can sit in you, okay? So the act of singing in this chakra point, also these glands here, chakras linked to glands, linked to colors, okay? Linked to frequencies. That is your grid, okay? So for example, that idea, we have this chakra now beginning to be blocked with a sensation of a sweet, which is also a poison, okay? Sugar is kids' cocaine. That's why this live today is 18 plus. Not trying to get striked down, okay? Truth, all right? Whether you like me or not, it is what it is, all right? That's that structured water. You always ask the bubbles, yes? That's hydrogen in there. This is what it puts fire, not fire, it puts more energy into your mitochondria, into your cells. ATP is what you utilize for energy, but also depending on what you put in, you unlock what you utilize, your cells require for fuel. So if you're always eating high starch, ultra processed, etc., you require the glucose or glycation process to take place, which involves insulin. Insulin up equals high diabetes, all of these other, when it's always being spiked. You see what I'm saying? So you keep releasing certain hormones which allow the environment to do this. Okay, cancer's only simply less oxygen to your cells because they can't breathe now. There's no space for that because of the programming. That's all. Less oxygen to your cells, yourselves. Because then when they replicate, because that is their design, they will replicate what that is. Okay? And also cancers and parasites go hand in hand. So high cancer, you got high parasites. I'm just a messenger. I'm also not a doctor. Do your research. However, this is all natural nature. Whenever you start to cleanse your vessel and you go into nature, what takes place is our abundant blessings. We have Miss Monica N all the way from Johannesburg in the building. Thank you. We also have our brother Sage all the way from Florida, Miami. I hope the guys are safe. I saw something about some wild news happening everywhere. So, you know, we want to send blessings always, abundance, and thank you for joining, man. I see you, man. Much love. All right. So you know, we just had to tap into a bit of the law of attunement so that you get where we're coming from with our teachings. It's not that we pulled this out of the corner of our necks or out of the back of our you know what I mean? There's also places and spaces where I've been through, okay? My teachings, my studies, my physical studies, biology, chemistry, DNA, especially genetics, all right? Because this will make more sense if you know genetics. But once again, fasting will allow you to come for your waters to sit in, which is just your higher self, okay? Your higher self sitting inside of your vessel just means that you make beautiful decisions always, in order to create your heaven on earth. Simple. Okay, so if you want to create your heaven on earth, this is the opportunity. However, it also is an illumination time to show you that hell has always been here. We've been in hell, man. What do you mean, where's hell? This is hell. This is the lowest heaven. Okay? Third dimension, spiritually, energetically, is one of the best and the most just sweetest points between physicality and no physicality. Okay? It's the cusp, all right? But what they want with AI, let me be careful here, shit. Okay, what they want with AI is, what they want with AI is they want you to begin to become more unnatural. So run further away from being to source, which is your heart space, right? It's a separation. Why do you think everyone has become, since the rapture, 2020, the awakening, the great awakening, year of 2020. Okay, cast your minds back there, quickly. Everything was to separate you from your heart, okay? Lock down. Oh, stay home, stay safe. Move, distance. Hey, you know, a lot of control. That's too hard. Okay, that's way too hard. So in your system, your nervous system took that on board. Oh wow, death, destruction, and you process that in whatever way, shape, and form. And also, we all, in some way, shape, and form, experienced or inexperienced, and both, losing loved ones. Okay, so sending blessings to you all, but you know, you're here for a reason. All right, and also for those of you with an eye to see, please do not take anything they give you. At least scrutinize it 3 times now. You see your friends who are conspiracy theories? Ask them, wait for them and be like, okay, what do you think about this? And just be like, okay, consider it. Okay, even if you think they're wild, just be like, okay, might save your life. I'm just saying, none of my beeswax though. Do what you must. That's why we're here. Okay, but then you pop back into spirit and you say, oh shoot, what am I? Start again, but just not here. Okay, there's plenty souls trying to get you in this shift. Okay, but the souls coming in now are, they're not here. They're moving from here. But this is why they're trying to inject. Need to change my spells, man. They want to use that needlecraft. You see, everything is quote unquote making a resurgence, and it will. Monkeypox, etc., etc., etc. Please just read between the lines, man. It's not. I'm just gonna give you a bean because I don't want this to get taken down. Okay, there's beautiful information here that we, not just teaching, we are learning. Master, teacher, learner, always student of life. Cool. So Now, let me not go there. Scrap that. Let's continue. What is spiritual bypassing? Spiritual bypassing, I did ask that question on my Instagram. I did get some interesting ideas and thoughts and experiences. Thank you so much to those who have pretty much responded. If you want to, in the chat, I'm just checking. Yeah, if you want to in the chat, please answer. What is spiritual bypassing? What I want to first do is define what is bypassing, and then what is spiritual. Okay, so bypassing pretty much is a fancy term for avoiding. Simple. Avoiding, turning away from, running away, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Spiritual bypassing, so spiritual would be the act of spirituality, which would be breath, spirar. That's where the root comes from in etymology. Spirar, to spiral. Okay, so that means to breathe, to breath. So the breath is the spirit, okay, which is eternal. They even measured it in there's some tests that they do. There's some, if YouTube hasn't taken this down yet, okay, where they test the weight of a cadaver, a vessel, a body, with the spirit in it, and then also as the spirit leaves. So then there's a weight change. That weight difference, I'm not too sure now, just off the cuff, how much it is, but there's a weight difference, and that weight difference in physicality is how much your spirit weighs. Interesting. Okay, so spirituality is also the act of being natural, in your natural state as much as possible. All right, so like you don't have to ask a tree to tree, you don't have to ask a grape to grape. You see what I'm saying? But us, we as beings, have to be told and identified. You are, that is. That's to keep you here. It's to keep you locked, especially your consciousness. It's to keep you unavailable for the unseen, which is what has created this what is seen. Okay, everything which is physical, this book, these gloves, okay, etc., was once a thought. And then it became physical. Even you were once a thought, and then you became physical. See? Simple. When you hear metaphysical teachings, when you're in this realm, you cannot think linearly. You cannot think in a straight line. You're going to get lost. You're going to hit a brick wall quickly. Boom. All right? So you also must see yourself as such, but then behave as such. All right? It's no point in saying blah, 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 and then you are boom. Okay? Your grid, and you must attune, align. Okay? Simple. So this is what bypassing actually essentially does. It allows you to not be your truest self. Okay? So not just spiritual bypassing. You can bypass, let's go through the layers and levels, right, of bypassing. You can bypass physically, in this physical realm. Let's have some examples. You can bypass in this physical realm, okay? So you know that you are becoming overweight. Yet guess what you do? You avoid the gym. Whoops, not today. These aren't shots at all, okay? These aren't shots at all. I'm just saying, you know, this is it. This is exactly what we're saying, okay? So physicality, there is bypassing there, and we are all guilty of it. Once again, this ascension is an inside job. If you expect someone to be there right there every day, yeah, let's go, let's go. Unless, you know, you have a personal coach or whatever it is that you do, it's up to you. It's up to you. As an adult, this is emotional intelligence. It's also delayed gratification. Oh yeah, there's a party happening, blah, blah, blah. In your mind, oh shit, I've got to read 4 books, I've got this to do, and this is for and it's going to make me feel better, and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'll do it next day. Yeah, I'll see you just now. Click. Next day. Oh shit, my head. Wow, I don't even want to read these books anymore. Boom. A month goes by. Fuck. I was supposed to read these books. Boom. A year goes by. Oh my shat. Boom. You're now 70. You're sitting on the porch, rocking there. Just about a year ago, I wanted to write a book. I wanted to. This is bypassing in the physicality. You see, it doesn't serve anything, because you'll be doing that until you exit. All right? It's a reality that we must all face. All right? So we are part of our own suffering, if not the all and end all. So you create it, and you can also end it, based off of your choices that you select. Because there's so many choices. If your energy is not boom, guess what? You're going to get swayed by the wind. If your roots are not in the ground, they call it 10 toes down, huh? Yeah. If you're not 10 toes down, wow. Oh. This is what your consciousness does when when you abandon yourself and your cells, and you're on timelines, okay, of creation for your highest good, and you make choices off kilter, off key, because of your programming. Maybe it's people pleaser, maybe it's FOMO, maybe you don't want to do this. Whatever these programs are running through you in your whole grid, your chakras, right? Whatever program, it's going to override your, if you still even have common sense. But once again, that programming will block that ability to touch other realms within yourself. Okay? Your reality happens inside you first. Always. Everything that you encounter is that's an effect, man. You are the cause. You're the alpha and omega of your life. Once you get this basic concept, because you are water, which is the most abundant element in the cosmos, all right? Water everywhere. And you are composed of what? 70 to 90%? Come on. Attune to your waters, you attune to the rest. Like Bruce Lee said, my inspiration. Okay, one of my mentors as I was coming up. Okay, in terms of his teachings. Beautiful. All right, be water, my friend. Here we be liquid. Because it's not just water, it's higher liquids. Okay? It's multiple dimensions of liquids. All right? DNA, blood crystal. Gets very fun. Okay? Watch. You cannot you cannot omnistand how excited I am for my book. Okay? The Law of Attunement. I break this all down beautifully so that y'all can be on the same frequency. We can have frequency. Yeah. No more conversations. We're having frequencies. Okay, so we're getting on the same frequency, and then we're pushing forth. All right. So the reason why we cannot afford to bypass spiritual or bypass anything, especially mental. Okay, mental bypassing looks like schizophrenia, multiple personality disorders. That's what the mental bypassing starts to look like, because you use physical crutches all the way from the natural, well, not natural, because anything in nature will never harm you, because by the time you're ready on the way to quote unquote overdose, you've already either naturally switched off your system, you've puked it out, or there's natural defenses. Unless if it's synthetic, you don't have, because it's imbalanced. So that's why it has a side effect. It has an offset. It has to set itself off through you. You the grounder, you the conduit which balances it out. You're the balancer, you know, you're the earther, you're the grounder. Okay, once again, you got to know elements within you and therefore without. Okay, the law of attunement. So this is in order to qualify for this new dimension of earth, is to get into these programs in yourself where you bypass. And a quick way, okay, for you to recognize in yourself if you want to self-master. Okay, this is a nice bean for you, Jack or Jane, right? Here's a bean. Walk into your triggers. Face your triggers. Anything that triggers you. Oh, people, places, things, scenarios. Think twice, thrice about them and sit with them, especially if they make you heated. Because now we're in a time where there's a lot of things in the old system, which is crumbling, which are... So within us, things are shaking, right? So reality as we know it, everyone is going through something, guys. All right, so what you got to practice is compassion with yourself and therefore with others. Then you will be able to calm your nervous system because, number one, first and foremost, you created your reality. So once you start from there, everything else starts to work itself out. But if you always blaming other things, your triggers, oh no, blah blah blah, 3 fingers pointing back, 1 going forth. So check yourself thrice. Beautiful. We have a question here. How do you know the triggers? And we have an answer from 𝙃𝙗𝙗𝙗, Anela, Cat 𝙃𝙗𝙗𝙗. It makes you feel uncomfortable and or fired up. Precisely. It gives your body a different temperature. Because your emotions are water, right? So your waters going through, your energy in motion, they either warm up, especially when you're training. A lot of systems utilize this. Your water's everywhere. Once again, 70 to 90% water. So once you're aware of this, you can train for it. You can flex the muscles in your nervous system in order to not feel jolted every time. You're not in fight or flight about everything. But also it's about what you either take or not. Okay, so you can't expect yourself to have a clear inner standing with a shitty programming. You're lying to yourself, and your cells know it. Okay, your cells know everything that you think, say, do, whatever the case may be. Okay, and this is why this bypassing is very dangerous, okay, in this time where the sun is revealing everything. The sun is showing all, and it's also showing all of you. It's showing parts of you which you've neglected, shadow, as we always speak about shadow work. So the parts of you which you've neglected is where your shadow resides. It doesn't mean anything negative necessarily, but you can have negative experiences with your shadow or your ego mind if you don't know what it is. Okay, once again, innately the ego isn't negative or positive. It's a barometer. It's a gauge as to where you are. Okay, and therefore you can make a selection of the choices available, knowing where you are. It's an inside job. Okay, so no one once again can be like, you move left, you go there. This is how we got to toxic patriarchy. Okay, pyramid, find the middle. Hey, let me not throw these signs up. They're gonna be like, yo, Baba Lex is that Illuminati. Hey, be careful. Okay, so bypassing is only gonna allow or prolong your suffering and your evolution. Okay, once you come to peace, you start to automatically within you, you make peace with that you never knew better, but now you have the opportunity to do better. Okay, if you have these tendencies, because your triggers lie in the 7 deadly sins, off the cuff. This is my coaching. Okay, let me go into a little bit of my coaching just to help you. Few beans, okay? No problem. Just give us a few likes there, that's all. And please share. All right, so 7 deadly sins. When you think along the pathway of 7 deadly sins, okay, lust. But let's go from the first most prevalent one, which is, there's a debate about this, but I'm not sure to debate, but you guys can definitely, let me actually just pull them out quickly. Because I did all of these studies in creating the course. And I was doing real-time studies with beings. And it's a pathway because also it relates to entities. Wow. Scary hours. As in, I'm a demon. Demons. Right. Also, I came across the term 7 capital vices. Interesting. If you want to go and look that up, that's very nice. Okay. Pride. So me, myself now, being aware of my spells, because I'm creating my reality with my spells and my cells hear me first, is I don't say I'm proud of you anymore. I try and move away from it, even though when I say it to normal, just people who are nicely in the matrix, okay, sure. They're like, what? But pride is a 7 deadly sin, man. That's why also those of you, I don't mind what you do. It's your life, your reality. But pride, celebrating pride, that is also a misnomer. It's adding energy of a false god. You see where these false things come in? Also manipulating of the frequencies, backwardsing the chakras. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if they're doing it on purpose. That's up to you. But I don't engage there. It's not because I hate you. I just don't engage there. It's not my frequency. Okay, you guys can enjoy that by all means. And this is why Earth School is, and being an adult, emotionally intelligent, is very imperative in this moment, because you are able to go and live your life, do what you must, as long as you are not harming others and children, okay, women, children, and not acting a fool outside. Explore yourself, man, in your privacy, whatever. You see, this is the point of where we're at. It's getting nuts that you got this at these festivals. This is why I don't do it, okay, if you're asking me, is because you don't want to have a dude with his balls out when there's children walking, bro. What are you doing? Okay? So for me, as a man, as a masculine man, all right, I'm not going to put children or even myself be there. What am I looking for there? I'm not looking for anything there. There's nothing there for me. So like I say, my frequency is not there. So, you know, rock out when you do what you do best. Just know what you're doing when you engage in these things, okay? A lot of this stuff is ritualistic. Okay, a lot of these celebrations right now, Halloween, right? Okay, that's a ritual. Christ Mass, break down also the spells. It's a ritual. I don't give a shit what you Bible, Quran, whatever you are religiously. Have fun. Okay, this is spiritual. This is you. Before that was written, there was you. So this is even, you know. So if you're angry, if you're triggered, boom, there you go. Don't bypass it. Sit with that. See why that's triggering. Oh, see what that is, man. 9 times out of 10, this is also in accordance with how much parasites you have. You probably infested. Okay, I was there. In your sinuses, in your brain, that's brain fog. You know, it can attribute and look like diseases or sicknesses. If it recurs, it's also got to do with parasites. Okay, serious. I work with this. All right, I coach this. We've been fasting regularly, minimum every month for 72 hours, minimum. Okay, that doesn't count the intermittent fasting daily. Okay, the prolonged fasting all the way up to 21 to 30 days. Okay, I haven't quite hit the Christ fast, which is 40 days, 40 nights. The Christos fast. Pretty much the Christos fast is just embodying that Christ consciousness. I feel like there's a consciousness beyond that, and that is a program also, right? Once again, I just like to give beings, just like myself, just like the law of attunement teachings are, they just beings for you to awaken something in you that is like, wow, okay, yes. Because truth, there's only truth when you decide it is truth, okay? Because it starts with your belief system. But in between belief, there's a lie. Just write it down, okay? Once you figure out, oh shit, okay, they say that sunscreen is good for skin, but that's a belief because you don't know. Boom, you try it out. blah, 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 boom, slather yourself. Sunscreen. You now do the tests. You also do your research. Check it out. I said this in my last live, okay? The first November. You check, there's an inverse picture floating online about someone who put on sunscreen. They even explain it. It looks blackface when you inverse it into black and white or negative it or something along those lines. That's what it looks like. So they're trying to copy melanin. So the sun is not bad. Also, look at the disease or the deficiency in mineral. The highest mineral deficiency. Okay? No thanks, my man. No invites to this. This is teachings. It's either you're learning with your pen and pad. Thank you for the interest. But it's either you're learning here or you're exiting. No problem. Togos. All right. So where was I? See, that's why I don't like people to. I need to disable that. Apologies. All right. So 7 deadly sins. This is the bean I'm giving you. Pride is the highest one. See, go off on the energetic frequency, right? See, the energy of it is all ties in. It all is one thing. Remember, nothing is separated. So if you put one thing in a box, it's just as good as you being in a box. Mentally, so consciously, so you're not able to understand, overstand, understand, omnistand what's happening. Okay, firstly within you and therefore without. You are the be all and end all, the alpha omega of your reality, not reality. Okay, that's a collective consciousness and a lot of structures involved in that. Creation, which is where quote unquote God or source create, like where eternal is. Okay, so that's a whole different board game, right? So when you tap into your 7 deadly sins, gluttony, so pride, gluttony, greed, lust, sloth, wrath, and envy. Okay, when you start to recognize where those are within you, where you envious, oh my gosh, I'm not happy for them, oh I just wish it was me, oh why not me, why always me. Okay, pride, I'm not gonna say sorry, nope, not my fault, don't give a shit, nope. Gluttony, just consuming too much. Okay, and it's also in your relationships. Okay, being a glutton for love, because love is not forced, so that's not love. Okay, cool. For example, don't crucify me, it's not me, these are the frequencies. It's what's going through you parasitically, or through us, through the collective consciousness, right? And this is not religious, point blank period. Lust, that's everywhere. The gentlemen that I work with, the men, the boys, through the conscious men community, okay, is a lust. And lust also ties into addictions. Okay, look at it like this. What is lust? Lust is the excessive requirement. Whoops, too much energy. Okay, quickly, right? So the addictions are also right now, owamanje, quickly, I need it now. So lust and addictions are synonymous. Write a note for that also, for your own. Okay, and then sloth, laziness. So basically it's also procrastination. Right. So that is putting things away, like the early example I gave of I'm going to start training today. Because I'm starting to gain weight, or I'm going to eat less, or I'm going to start to maybe at least eat my breakfast. When I break my fast, or 12, when the sun, maiso, when ilanga, when the sun is 12 hitting my crown, and now I'm open and receptive in my circadian rhythm with some fruits, 𝙎𝙪𝙗, structured water, is now massaging my system and also cleansing. As it cleanses, I also absorb the nutrients, the structured water, for my cells and myselfs. It's a clarity. That's crystal clarity. Okay, so depending on where you are, your seasonal fruits, boom, especially ones with more water. Right now at Checkers in South Africa, there's watermelon, which there's plenty of it because it's harvest season now. Okay, we're in spring now, so there's a lot of beautiful mulberries all around. there's also beautiful, just natural things you can just pick off. Boom, 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 boom. Okay? That can give you sustenance and big energy, right? Once again, to the guys who have asked, you know, we don't take any supplements outside of natural things, okay? You know, what is muscle made of? It's made of water, okay? So with that in mind, you need to break everything down. Take out the programming. So muscle is about 70+% water. That's crazy, right? 75%? Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. That's crazy. So what are you trying to put powders in? Okay, when you put a powder, just put a powder on a plate or on here and then throw water on there. What does it do? It sticks. So that's what it does inside you. So over time, proteins and everything, same, but different. As within, as without, and vice versa. This is duality. This is what we're moving out of the age of. You have to master that by knowing. Okay, you've done it. Oh, how did that make me feel? This is why guys who are bodybuilding, those of you who bodybuild hard, be careful. They die of heart and lung and issues over here, kidneys, because it's blockages. It's, bro, like, your shit is now stuck. I'm not a doctor. Once again, do your own research, but ding, you don't have to be a rocket science. Anyway, 7 deadly sins. Check that out through you and see how that interacts with you. That's where you'll see your triggers. Okay? Around food, especially around drinks, depending on even soda, fizzy drinks. I just need my Coca-Cola. Wow. Okay, kids cocaine. All right, it's more addictive than cocaine. Okay, do your research once again, but I'm not a doctor, but it is there. Right? Okay, it's also a fast forward to allow your children not to, well, to fast forward to allow your children to what it's going to look like to be a drug addict. That's for some of the single parents that I also coach. Okay, those of you brave enough, you know, to seek advice, especially the females. Okay, those of you who are looking for the higher work, you know what time it is in terms of that. We've got our affiliates, our lovely partners. One of them is in the room. Thank you so much. I'm all the way from Hawaii. Okay, @_Kaulani 7, right? She also does a lot of womb healing. Okay, things like that. A lot of ceremonies, ancient, future, present, now, which really works with your DNA, works with your waters, works with your womb, works with just a lot of things to do with trauma, which is powerful. Okay, and also umoya, spirit, metaphysical. So a lot of the healings are Reiki-esque. You know, you have to partake to know. Okay, and also you don't have to have any gnosis. You don't have to believe in it. Okay, but you, anyway, in terms of that there, we all going to a place where we would need to cleanse these 7 deadly sins within us. Then we're able to recognize it outside and then start to clean house. Remember, this inside job starts with us, okay, individually, before it becomes collective. Because the collective energy, before you have access to the Akash, which is through the sun, okay, this is why you're getting a lot of revelations now. Dream space is becoming wild, right? Of the last year, 2-3 years, especially since the rapture, okay? The great awakening of 2020, okay? So a lot of these spiritual realms are merging. So basically what that is, here's a beam, is that it's the 4th dimension. 4th dimension means it's a dream-like space. It's an astral realm. Okay, so there's the lower astral, which looks like Earth, which is hell. Okay, it's just like this. When you astral project, you're here, but you can go through the walls. Okay, that's Earth astral. So it's just here, but it's unseen, right? And then you've got high astral, where there's all sorts of beings that can access that realm. Okay, including you and your astral body. And then there's the entities which are quote-unquote ghosts. So once again, to give you this gnosis, okay, is that you're a 3rd dimensional being. You cast a 2-dimensional shadow. Okay, so when you see a ghost, it's a 4th dimensional entity. So therefore it looks like a shadow. So it's trying to physicalize through a 5th dimensional type-ish portal. That's it's a mouthful, but it will make sense when it makes sense. But that's pretty much what that is in a nutshell. You can also break it down as you see fit, but that's a being, right? So they cast shadows in the fourth dimension. So you also dimensionally cast shadows in other dimensions, but those dimensions look depending on your aura and your grid. Okay, see, so this is why you cannot access these realms, because your grid is you're not firing, you're not attuned, okay, to your highest. Bam, you see, you skew. Think your spine, so maybe you're walking like this. So when I observe auras, I can see that this being's maybe off over here, so that might be straight over here, then this one goes like this, this one does a bend, a funny bend. So it's almost like arthritis and some of these diseases that manifest physically. Okay, I saw a beautiful post the other day about this lady who takes there's a lot of beings right now who are dealing with water. Water is the technology of the now future. Anyway, she takes photos of in water of images of a fruit, of pictures, of whatever the case may be, right? And in that there you can see the essence of it. Okay, so it takes that freeze photo that of that image it doesn't freeze the actual physical image. It freezes its essence, man. So that must tell you something. Water not only holds memory, okay, you can program it also. Holds memory, you can program water. Think cells. It's mostly water. Everything that has mostly water, your muscles, you can program. There you go. There's a being. You don't have to be rocket science, right? So you can program water. Okay, you can also change its structure. Solid, liquid, liquid vapor. See, that's where spirit comes in. That's why I said spirit of the elements are breath and water combination in my omni-standing. See, think water vapor. It can permeate almost every crevice everywhere, right? And it's everywhere and nowhere. Think this air, all right? Also, when you're manifesting, you are speaking into a type of a water, right? It's right here for us. But all it is that we are making it simple. So because we have a foundation. Okay, so when you start to get that water is everywhere and you can interact with this as quote unquote attunement, this is how you manifest. But manifestation is just a fancy word for creation on multiple realms, because you're bringing it from. It's also alchemy. You're bringing it from. So it's like it's a dual action. It's a masculine feminine energy. It's electromagnetic. You know what I mean? That's what took for you to come here in this vessel. Whether you are in a masculine body or a feminine body, okay? You needed the two to assimilate and dance divinely to boom, come here now, all right? So this has got to do with intelligent waters. This goes to blood crystal. This goes to DNA. This goes to junk DNA. You see where we're going with this? So your DNA is not junk, it's just not coded. You have not coded for, but the possibilities are what happens with genetic in the blood crystal, okay? That is what happens with generational curses, which some of us, like myself, are healing. Okay, it's not per se this family, or, you know, it could be the generation, right? So that is encoded in your blood crystal. So trauma, when it's not dealt with through those intelligent informational layers and dimensional levels of information through the waters, that information is then within you. Okay, so that information is, oh, they kicked you off. Okay. Okay, no problem. Yes, they're a bit funny. Please don't speak anything which is against their guidelines. This is why we don't do teachings on a higher level. Also, there's an example in here, but thank you for that, so that I can give the example. There it is. They start to block and act funny and censor. That's why we do the coaching in private. That's why we don't give it on all of these platforms. Okay, this information is not meant for you. All right, so they make it as tough for us, especially those creators who are creating from our authenticity. Okay, those of us who've done all of this that we speak of, right, and continue to. Okay, although the third dimension, physicality, is catching up to, it's becoming a fifth dimension. It's taking steps. It has to cleanse, right? Physically, you can see that she is restructuring. Okay, there's places which are going underwater. There's places which are flash flooding. You know, sending my abundant blessings and just, you know, love and safety and condolences and compassion to all of those who are losing, you know, family. And it is a real thing. I don't wish that upon my worst enemy. All right. However, it is taking place, right? We have to come to terms with this. Okay, but once again, the more you are attuned with yourself and your cells, you will know before it happens. Okay, nature will always warn you. The birds, especially. If you wake up one day, here's a bean. You wake up one day, there's no birds anymore. Something is coming. Okay, that is just the, right? So on and so forth, right? And so this is where we're going to also, we're designed to be in matchbox, you know, a lot of masculine, which perpetuates the toxicity, squares, which are 90-degree angles. Okay, a 90-degree angle is a blockage. Okay, it's too sharp. Okay, because the masculine principle is electric in energy, right? It's got a direction, it's got a purpose, boom. Okay, it's got leadership, boom. It's got the confidence, boom. Okay, solar plexus. Okay, so that's the, it's a masculine energy, this portal here, this on your grid, right? Yellow, which we also talk about, the live that we did. It's on my YouTube channel, check it out. Okay, so once we start to cleanse the vessel, once again, we start to get to moments where we cannot bypass. Okay, so that's the mental bypassing. That's also the thoughts that you think. They are not yours. Where did they come from? Okay, and also going to, when these triggers come in, the deeper you go into yourself. This is why being fasted is imperative, especially over the full moon for you women. Off the cuff, here's a bean. If you want to reattune to your own womb essence, you're not, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing when you're doing it, because once again, everything is a ritual. Once you become sacred with this gnosis, you know that you are also a walking ritual. You're walking manifestation of spirit. That's wild. You know how much energy it takes to condense you into this vessel, okay? Because once you switch on this dormant DNA, once you stop bypassing, okay, then this becomes an actual reality. Okay, first and foremost, an inside job. Your life will begin to change. Okay, you don't have to rush to teach or rush to change others if it's not your design. All right, just become on the same frequency, and then you'll become, you know, that. And also, you will have frequencies only. You will engage in frequencies. You will be where frequencies are. Okay, that is a conversation, okay, on a frequency. But a conversation, once again, someone is being conned. And number one, you hear you first, right? Through your waters, through your selves, okay, your trillions of cells, the trillions of yous. So you hearing you first requires you to always be compassionate for what you say. So therefore, that will change and shift your reality, because your water holds memory. So now the memories of old are now cleansed out through all of your bodies, multidimensionally, mind, body, spirit. Spirit, mind, body. That's how you came in. Now body, mind, spirit. Therefore you have a clear vessel. And therefore you invite your highest self. This is when the ESP begins to unlock. This is when all of these higher things begin to unlock. Okay? As these higher muscles, if you will, begin to unlock, because you are flexing them, higher intuition, higher knowing, okay? They also link to your glands. You start to release certain hormones which don't exist right now, okay? You start to do things like unlock the immortal gene. Someone, don't crucify me about this, but even if you have questions, thank you so much, okay? Togoza, thank you so much. We appreciate the gifts. But yes, there's so much which you are capable of. Once you remove programming, I would know. Okay, I practice a lot of things which are not for eyes, are not for TikTok, right? But first, I had to not bypass. Okay, so in closing, I just want to quickly touch on myself. okay, my journey, bypassing in plenty things, okay, physically bypassing, all right, okay, because this journey of self, once again, it's lonely, okay, it's going to be a lonely path. You must know this, but it's not lonely. It's not lonely forever. But number one, lonely is also a program. You need to remove that program. Lonely just means that you're not able to sit with yourself. What are you scared of? Right there you can find a trigger. Plenty triggers, matter of fact. How many of y'all grown adults can sit still? How many of you can stay on a month end, especially Mzansi, South Africa? Don't lie now. How many of y'all can sit at home and just maybe, not even Netflix and chill, just read a book, put on some candles, look a bit incense, impepo there, sage, you know, you just, who can do that and then journal about yourself and give yourself some self-love? Maybe run a bath for yourself, take a nice hot shower, cold shower, maybe train nicely, gents, whatever it is. I'm not saying Netflix and chill and eat programming, sedentary lifestyle, nah. I'm saying really love yourself. It's tough. You can tell me, nah, especially y'all women. Y'all are crazy. Get out of my inbox, man. You're crazies. Deal with yourself, okay? Handle yourself first. That's why you're always getting into fucked up relationships. Ooh, he cute. Oh, shit. Stop that. Even you, gents, stop this lust. Ooh. But also, we're in a system which perpetuates that, right? So if you feed the beast, guess what? You're going to get the beast. Not me. I'm not involved in that. Okay? We're on a different frequency. We have different conversations day in, day out. We're on, I don't even know what day it is most of the time, because unless I'm on my schedule of booking physically, because I'm elsewhere, I'm creating other things, I'm grounding other things, okay? And once again, lonely is a misnomer, okay? Because that just means there's those parts of you which when you were young, they used to tell you, shut up, don't do that, don't do this, okay? And you put that you in the corner. That's still the child you. You got to give yourself the compassion. In those places of not lonely, it's an opportunity for solitude to say, right, and look at yourself. Even do mirror work, right? This is also part of the coaching. Literally get a fucking mirror, man. Get a mirror. Because mirrors are also portals. If you know, you know. But here's another beam, okay? You look in your eyes, boom, direct. And first and foremost, do breath work and be careful. For the first few times, it could get scary, okay? It could get alarming. What's going to take place is you will start to remove the perception of where you're at, okay? Oh, whoopsie, just give me a second. Okay, we've got about 3 minutes. Let's end this nicely. All right, so what will happen is your perception of this place will start to disappear. As this place begins to disappear more and more, your features will distort. You'll start to see, depending on where you are on your frequency, you will start to see either you right now in the fourth dimension, like your fourth dimensional shadow. You can either see that, so it will either look grotesque, like ugly as because of your chakras and because of what you're holding or what's covering you or blocking your heart from expressing itself, right? This is also part of the needlecraft. These things are meant to block certain pathways and especially your heart. That's just the being. Go do your research. I'm not a doctor. This is just for educational purposes only. Thank you. So I need to be very careful. Okay. So once again, guys, just to skip that, thank you so much for joining. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully you're getting it. But once again, this has been for episode 2, Mars off November. And this has been bypassing, but spiritual bypassing specifically. Okay. So all of these are layers and levels. Bypassing mentally, bypassing in your thought realm, bypassing in your physical realm. Okay. All of the above, because once again, you're a unified field. You are Neo. Okay, that's an anagram for 1. All right, just switch those letters. You are the one, Neo. Right, that's why The Matrix is a documentary. Check out Sophia Stewart. She's also got her documentaries out. She is the mother of the Matrix. She wrote the Matrix. She channeled this. Once again, she was attuned with her essence, her waters. Okay, how she got there, I'm not too sure, but I'm sure it involved a fast. Anyway, I'm Baba Lex. Once again, thank you for the support. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Lex Stays Liquid anywhere and everywhere. Also, I love you always, in all ways, all the way from Mzansi, Africa, South Africa, in Johannesburg. Much love. Look out also for the upcoming gathering, okay, aka retreat, okay, at the end of November. Please remain blissful. Stay liquid.